At last, Mathal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
If he's here for a mirror, why'd Corypheus say he wants a well of sorrows?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
Could they be the same? Could alluvian translate into well of sorrows?
No. It seems an alluvian is not the prize Corypheus seeks. Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
So that's how the bastard survived, Hawk.
We'll find a way to stop Corypheus once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how. It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Ancient Elven. I can't make out much.
Atishor vir Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shiven. Shivenen. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mathal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
Not much of a lock if all you do is step on it.
'Tis a ritual, not a barred door. There is more here than earthly treasure. Let us see what awaits. Yes?
Are you certain Corypheus is using the power of the Blight to make himself immortal?
Perhaps you forget. I was in Ferelden during the Fifth Blight. I have seen a true archdemon rage. How Corypheus gained the power to send his soul into blighted bodies, that is the real question.
Will answering that question let us destroy Corypheus for good?
Perhaps. I would suggest first dealing with the well. If Corypheus obtains it, any chance of success could be lost.
Do you know what this part of the temple was used for?
The room we stand in is a vestibule, not the temple proper. To those who knew it, perhaps this ritual was little more than a polite knock at the gate. These customs must have been as familiar to ancient elves as bowing to a queen is to you or I.
I find it difficult to picture you curtsying to anyone.
Have we become so familiar you can predict my manners and customs now? Nothing is lost by indulging in the occasional civilized conduct, particularly when unexpected.
You said this Mathal was worshipped as a goddess.
So one assumes. What is a god but a being of immense power? The dread old gods were nothing more than dragons, after all. They rise as archdemons, and they die. Perhaps Mathal was a powerful elf, a ruler among her kind. History often plays storyteller with facts.
You admit lack of knowledge, and yet dismiss her so readily?
I do not dismiss her. I question her supposed divinity. One need not be a god to have value. Truthfully, I'm uncertain Mathal was even a single entity. The accounts are varied.
There are varied accounts of Mathal?
In most stories, Mythal rights wrongs while exercising motherly kindness. Let fly your voice to Mythal, deliverer of justice, protector of sun and earth alike. Other paint her as dark, vengeful. Pray to Mythal and she would smite your enemies, leaving them in agony.
More dalish tales, I assume.
If you know more about this, Solus, speak.
The oldest accounts say Mythal was both of these, and neither. She was the mother, protective and fierce. That is all I will say. This is not a place to stir up old stories.
Whatever the truth, all accounts of Mythal end the same. Exiled to the beyond with her brethren.
What do you mean, exiled?
Tricked by the Dread Wolf, as all the elven gods were said to be, trapped in a land beyond the Fade. Many Dalish believe this is why the elves fell from grace, and their gods did not save them. Or perhaps they were simply rulers slain by Tevinter. Who can say?
You've seen the elves here. They seem odd.
Indeed. Two things are possible. One, this is a group of Dalish separated from their brethren, cultists, fanatic in their desire to keep humans away. Two, these are elves descended from the ancients, having resided here since before the fall of Alathan. The second appears unlikely, but if true, the implications are astounding.
If they keep records, it could change everything we thought we knew about history.
It is thrilling, no? To discover an era thought lost forever has possibly thrived in the shadows. We may, however, find these elves reluctant to part with their long-kept secrets. Those guardians.
You know what? These elves are starting to scare me.
The mages trespassed on their sacred ground.
So are we. I'm just saying.
Why would this be here?
Something wrong?
It depicts the Dread Wolf, Fen-Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time. Setting Fen-Harel in Mythal's greatest sanctum is as blasphemous as painting Andraste naked in the chantry.
Some chantries display statues of Andraste's betrayer, Mafarath, as part of the chant.
It might fulfill a similar function, a reminder of vigilance for the faithful.
For all your knowledge, Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other.
Pray tell, what meaning does our elven expert sense lurking behind this?
None we can discern by staring at it.
We can send for historians once peace is brought to this forest.
The inhabitants of this temple may not appreciate guests.
The Temple of Mythal, constructed in an age when elves, not men, dominated this land. They believed Mythal a goddess of justice. Elves came here to request judgment, after they proved their worth.
Silence has reigned here for time beyond memory.
Don't let them pass!
We might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
You forget that army fighting for us out there? Longer we play around, the more Inquisition soldiers die. There's a hole. Jump in.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
You're very eager to reach our destination.
Are we not all eager to stop Corypheus from achieving his mad plan?
Sounds like what you want is that well.
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
I wasn't expecting your answer to be so romantic.
Trust me, your surprise is matched only by my own. Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
What exactly did that altar say about the Well of Sorrows?
Like most elven writing, it was insufferably vague. The term I deciphered was Halam Shivanas, the sweet sacrifice of duty. It implies the loss of something personal for duty's sake, yet for those who served at this temple, a worthwhile trade.
What sort of curse should we brace ourselves for if we use the well?
'Twould be easier by far to advise you of a curse. This price is not so well defined. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way. Indeed. Time to proceed to the next ritual, I should think.
The ritual is complete.
We are close. There is but one more path to follow.
Who's this meant to be?
Fallandine, overseer of funerals and guide to the elven dead. I have heard the Dalish invoke him on their deathbed, or before quests from which they expect no return.
My clan's hunters asked for his blessing when we fought bandits. Our keeper taught them the prayers.
I do not believe they sing songs about Fallandine's vanity.
Do you know any legends?
It is said Fallandine's appetite for adulation was so great, he began wars to amass more worshippers. The blood of those who wouldn't bow low filled lakes as wide as oceans. Mythal rallied the gods once the shadow of Fallandine's hunger stretched across her own people. It was almost too late. Fallandine only surrendered when his brethren bloodied him in his own temple.
My clan never told a story like that about Fallandine.
The further the Dalish spread, the further their stories branch and grow. Never mistake them for arbiters of true elven culture.
What's this?
I believe we are in the presence of the elven goddess Ondrul, Lady of the Hunt.
Or a goddess of sacrifice, according to some.
Truly? I wonder if that is why Ondrul's patron animal is the hare. It is said the Dalish invoke her before a chase, especially if they happen to be stalking humans.
My clan avoided human settlements. Never mind raiding them.
A sound tactic, if one has room to maneuver out of harm's way. Other Dalish clans do not keep so scrupulously hidden. Will you abandon these rituals, Inquisitor? Think carefully. There is no return once we follow the Venatori.